This is Donna.
And this is TJ.
We're the Hills.
And this is
Dinner
and a Marriage. Welcome back.
Hello. Here we are. Again. It's another week. And really? I'm going to start it right off.
Oh, with what? Why would you do what you're thinking about doing?
Because it needs to be done.
Okay. I know other things that need to get done.
There's lots of things. We live off grid, so there's a ton of stuff that needs to be done. But first, shop talk. Do a little shop talk with Donna. Hello. If you like to hear about random stuff, please like, follow, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that everything we do, you get notified. And also, as always, a little plug out to our other YouTube, The Hills on Wheels. That has many more videos on more random days of just things that we do around the property.
This is true.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Today, I got home from work and TJ had everything set up and dinner made. We had breakfast dinner. It was delish. And bam,
this is why
here we
we're
are.
Still married.
Podcasting.
Because I made
coming
dinner.
at you live from the camper.
Today I was finishing up the install of the drywall in the pump house. And I think I'm going to make a post on Instagram or TikTok or something because, you know, people are not friends with concrete guys. Okay? Unless they find out that you're a concrete guy.
Then they're like,
then
hey,
they're like,
buddy.
Hey, you. How you doing?
You know what's funny about that is we were invited over, and I'm not going to name names or anything, but to a friend of TJ's house for dinner one night. And they're like, oh, come have dinner. We could hang out. Like, your wife and my wife, they would get along. And
we will be best friends.
Yeah. And then after dinner, he's like, oh, yeah, let me show you this concrete project I want to do.
Ah, yes.
And I was like, oh, okay, this makes more sense now. And showed him this whole project that he wants to do. We stayed, I don't know, 5-10 more minutes after that, maybe. Probably not even.
Yeah, it got weird.
Yeah, and then it was like, okay, well, this was fun.
I felt used.
Yeah.
And okay, so now that you stop it there, this is fantastic. So the thing is when it comes down to it, you know, concrete guys are kind of like the horrors of the construction trades.
The whores?
The whores.
Not horrors. Whores.
No, not like crafty, crazy, evil spirits. I'm talking about very slutty and nasty.
Okay. Why is that?
Well, because they're always asked to do things. People want favors.
Oh, yeah.
We always get suckered into doing it, whatever. But, you know, after my whole little trip of doing drywall here, kind of thinking like,
I'd like
so
to be
concrete
a
guys
guy.
concrete guys are like the whores, and then like drywall guys, they would be like the really dirty ones that would be into like BDSM and anal and stuff. They're just like, they'd be like the dirtiest of all the
This
gross
went
ones.
South.
No, I'm just saying that I would rather go out and finish concrete naked on a 110-degree day any day of my life rather than do drywall ever again.
Drywall's not
and
fun.
I'm a hardworking human being, but, you know, that sucks it. Like,
yeah.
Large and in charge sucks it.
Yeah.
So
I was real glad to be at work and not do drywall.
Today, I was up near the ceiling of the building. I'm like, it's like the dog.
What the heck?
Oh, and I was like, what is that smell?
What was it?
It was the inside of my hat.
Ew! Oh,
It smelled like somebody stuck their
gross.
foot up somebody's ass.
That is disgusting.
It was really, really bad.
Ew, did you rinse it off or something? I hope.
I hung it above the door
Oh, good.
on
Delish.
its hat hook.
I think we need to wash that thing.
Yeah, no, it's pretty gross, but I was just like, what in the world?
Why does the ceiling smell?
And then, lo and behold, because you make me keep watching that stupid show that finally ended last night.
Oh, iZombie.
Oh my God. So I'm sitting there and I'm all upset about how bad my hat smells. And granted, we have the insulation in the ceiling and the drywall's on there, and the room is cooler than it was a few days ago, but it's still hot as fook because it was like 98 degrees today.
Yeah.
So I'm having this death smell issue, and there's all this stuff going on, and I'm like half dehydrated, and like everything is just going awful.
Mm-hmm.
And then it popped into my brain
What?
that periods should be called zombie crotch. Yep. And from this day forward, it will be known
No, don't
as zombie
say it.
crotch.
No. It's so weird. You're a weirdo.
Oh my God.
Wow.
All the things.
So none of this is the topic of the night.
But who needs topics when you just have great conversation? I mean, the only reason that you need a topic is because you're like, well, and later I'm going to have to edit this and I'm going to have to like title it and blah, 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 and all the nerd stuff you do. No, just like I was saying a few minutes ago, let it flow.
Huh. Wow.
We'll keep it moist.
Oh my gosh, why? Gosh. Yikes.
Yeah. And in today's news,
Oh, wow. So last week oh my gosh, what? Last week we were talking about,
people that were being done with their parents. Being
Oh,
like,
that's
I'm
right.
writing you off because of
yeah,
X. Maybe you sucked. Maybe you have too many rules. Maybe I'm 30 and you're not allowed to tell me what to do anymore. All that crap-oly.
right, right. Which I'm sure we could go on and on about, because there were a lot of things even when we were done that I kept popping into my head, like, oh, and then there's this.
Oh, you've been
yeah,
talking to me
this.
about it all week.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But
No.
so moving on from that, we thought about, let's talk about, fun times or memories we had growing up.
Best and worst memories of when you were a child.
Okay, sorry. Best and worst memories. So, do you want to go first?
No, I thought we'd do rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
Oh, really? Okay.
Why not?
Rock, paper, scissors. You win.
What you don't? That wasn't even a thing.
I know, but
He's all rock, paper, scissors. You win, because I never changed out of rock.
I don't know, baby. You won. I just don't.
Okay. Wow.
Ah!
So I can't remember, and I think I'd mentioned this before, that I had talked to my sister and she's like, oh, we had a horrible childhood. They're like, really? I don't remember our childhood being that horrible. I remember a trip that we took, and I want to say I was like 8 or 9 maybe, and my dad had bought a van, like an eco line, where they're like the conversion.
Mm-hmm.
And it had the table and chairs and a bed and whatnot in there. For the life of me, I do remember driving, and we drove from Arizona to New York, upstate New York. And I do remember the drive. I don't remember where we slept. I don't remember, like, if we stayed at hotels or if we all slept in this Econoline. But
So, dear, are you suppressing your memories?
And that's the thing. I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, okay. I was just trying
Remember
to be
me
funny.
saying like, maybe
I have no suppression. I have.
you remember everything.
Oh no, I had. Well, that's the thing is, I thought for the longest time that I grew up in the most normal family ever. Like, Mike, people that are not like us are weird. And then I got a little older and I realized, like, wow, I'm the weirdo.
Huh.
Like,
I never
mean-
even thought of it like if we were weird or not weird or
how do you
Whatever.
not think stuff like that?
I just didn't.
You know, I think that.
But I also didn't move a lot. So like
Oh, I moved a lot.
yeah, so we lived for the most of my life in Arizona. And we had moved when we first arrived in Arizona, we lived in Phoenix, and then 3 years later, maybe a little more, I'm not sure, we moved to Scottsdale, and
Ooh, do you have any Grey Poupon?
and I lived in Scottsdale all the way up through graduating high school. So like it was a long time to be there. Like knew all the same people, had all the same friends, like stuff like that. I'm still friends
She's like
with
one of those
most
people
of
where
those
she's like,
people.
I just didn't even realize we were super rich.
No. Wow. So,
That
anyways,
was you.
back to my story.
Mhm.
So we drove from Arizona to upstate New York for my Aunt Linda's wedding, and I was a
Perry?
bridesmaid. No, this was before the
Oh.
kids were born.
Oh, true.
Um,
Okay, you're right.
And I can't remember how long we were there or anything. I remember her wedding. I remember I had this beautiful yellow dress, and it was in the springtime, and we all had little spring hats, and I just felt so girly and cute and whatever. I remember that, but yeah, that was a good memory. And I remember most of my memories that I remember were good ones. Memories that I remember. Wow, sorry. That's redundant.
Nope, sorry.
But we was going up to upstate New York. I went with my dad a couple different times and went to Niagara Falls, and yeah, those were good times.
That is fantastic.
Yes.
So I can sum up all of my best and worst memories in one state.
Tennessee.
The state of Tennessee.
Tennessee. I hear about Tennessee so much.
Dude,
I've never been there.
I really don't even know why, and I probably should have done a little more research before we bought this property, but it would have probably made more sense that we just moved to Tennessee. Full circle of life. Many, many snakes to
But you
kill.
don't know anyone in Tennessee.
I didn't know anybody here.
Yes, you do. You know Krista and Frank and
Oh, well, I
Wendy
mean,
and
you know
Martin.
people, and we didn't even realize they lived here until we were looking for our property.
Wendy
I mean,
and Martin.
we knew that.
We
you
knew they lived in
that they were
the
here
White
because
Mountains.
of
We just didn't know
Instagram
how
and
close
whatever.
they were.
And, yeah, exactly. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, but it's nice that we do know people.
But
So-
yes, so
so-
mine,
Mhm.
all my best memories, my favorite memories, skateboarding.
Nice.
In Tennessee, I met all of my favorite friends. We all skateboarded together. I was in my first and last of many competitions for skateboarding in
And
Tennessee.
I have pictures of that. I'll put some up there if you watch this on YouTube.
My other favorite memories are we were in Florida, and my parents took me to Kona Skate Park.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like during the week at like when everybody else was in school.
Both your parents?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Because we happened to be on a vacation. I don't remember why we were there. Oh, we were there because my Uncle Ted was dying.
Oh, sad.
Yes. The guy that I was supposedly named after who didn't end up having my name.
What?
Yeah.
His name was Ted.
His name was Ted. It was not Theodore.
Yeah. No, I know. That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
now the cat is out of the bag.
Meow.
Oh, wow. I'm a fat chipmunk.
Or zombie.
What? I was going to say something that would embarrass the hell out of you,
Let's
but we
not.
will keep that in the bag.
Wow.
I will save it for ammunition later. What?
I don't know.
No. Okay. But yes, I got to go to Kona Skate Park. That was pretty awesome.
And that was Florida, though, not Tennessee.
No, it was, but it was one time. It was like we were only there for a couple hours. But all of my favorite memories that I have, really, of most of all that stuff is all my skateboarding stuff. Mm-hmm. That's for my childhood memory dreams of amazing times is all that.
Nice. Worst memory?
What's your worst memory? You went first. We're going to rock, paper, scissors again? Here.
No.
Come on, do it.
You're going to just
watch.
do the same thing.
Oh, so you won again.
No, we should say it out loud so people in the podcast could actually hear it. Ready?
No. Oh, what?
Rock, paper, scissors. So I do scissors, he does rock. He just watches what I do because he wants me to go first.
Oh my gosh, I just broke your scissors with my rock.
But going with worst memories, it does get a little sad when you think about worst memories, right?
Oh, they should be.
Yeah.
But this is where everything gets skewed, is you have to cut off when your worst memories are, right? So it'd be like, is it all of your worst memories from like before you were 15, or do you get up to be until you were 21, or does it get to be up until you turn 30? I was just talking about when you live with your parents, I guess. Yeah, that's what I mean. So everything underneath.
Yeah.
Or everything before you
moved out or whatever.
A technical adult.
Couple bad memories. When I was in high school, my parents separated for a little while, and I think that's something we talked about too. Like, when you're that age, you don't really realize your parents have a life too. So like when my parents separated, I was like, why? Like, why aren't they just staying together? Like, that didn't make sense to me. But my sister, who knew a lot more than me because my mom would confide in her like she was her friend and not her daughter, and she would, so my sister was like, well, you know, they're always fighting, and then dad's having an affair, and like, what things you shouldn't need to know as a child, I feel like, on
that
some of that.
Your dad was a baller?
I guess, but wow. So my parents separated, and my mom kind of went off the deep end, which at the time I thought, what the heck? Like, you're a parent, you need to keep your crap together. Now, getting older, I kind of get why she went off the deep end, because, I mean, they were married for a long time. But anyways, she used us as a pawn, which was not cool. So she would wake us up.
Especially if you're not into chess.
Huh. She would wake us up in the middle of the night and be like, your dad's on the phone. You need to tell him that he needs to leave that woman and come home and tell him that you love him. Just tell him. And I'm like, it's like 2 a.m.? What's happening right now? But yeah, it just got really crazy. So that was a bad memory that I remember. I remember her just losing her mind. Like, I can visually picture her. And at the time I was like, oh my gosh, pull it together, woman. But I kind of get that, because I think I would lose my mind too if, like, we split up. I don't think I would. I mean, our kids aren't young enough, but I definitely wouldn't use them as pawns
what's
either.
the deal with that, right? I guess I'll say something here that maybe I should or shouldn't say, but man, whatever. So, like, you sitting there thinking, like, oh my gosh, pull it together, woman. And then your
Yeah.
mom being like, tell him to leave that woman and blah, blah, blah. So
Right.
I know that if I was down at a bar,
Mm-hmm.
macking on some woman,
Okay.
okay,
Yeah.
this is the scene.
This is what you think would happen.
I'm down there.
Let's go with it.
Like, looking good. Macking on another woman, like, hard, right? Okay.
Okay.
And you know she's not going to say no.
Oh my gosh. Look
And
at-
maybe she already said yes, but we're still sitting there having drinks. Would you really try to come down there and save me from that? Or would you rather just kill me?
Oh no. If
Because-
I knew that was happening, I would just pack my stuff, empty the bank account, and leave.
All 17 cents of it. Good
Yep.
for you.
Cha-ching.
Well, no, because my grandmother, I guess my grandfather was a cheater, pumpkin
He
eater.
was also a baller.
Yeah, he was a baller. And like, he's like very into that James Dean look,
Oh, okay.
like way old
I could
school.
see that.
Like, and I mean, when he was younger, he was a good looking dude, but yeah, so he's obviously fooling around on my grandma, and she went down to the bar, freaking drug his ass out of there, calling that other woman a floozy, set him straight.
Wow. How do you set him straight? Like you're not leaving the house?
I have no idea if she was like, okay, do you see these scissors? Do you see that thing between your legs?
Oh, dang.
These things could become best and worst enemies if you don't stop it. I have no idea what she said, what happened, but all I know is that she went down there, drug his drunk ass out of a bar, told the woman off, brought him home. And I was
Wow.
like,
Betty?
no, that was Sissy.
Oh,
To
wow.
Papa,
Crazy.
right?
Crazy.
These are things I
could
didn't find
see-
out till I was way older.
Yeah, I mean, those are things you don't talk about to your kids. Like, that's the thing is I didn't really know the whole scenario with, my dad and everything until I was older. And my sister actually told me what she knew from my mom's side of the story. My dad has a different scenario on that, but they did work things out and stayed together for quite a few more years. My parents, but they did end up getting divorced. But my sister and I were both adults by that time. So I don't know if that makes it any better or not, but yeah. Another bad memory, kind of bad and good. Like we lived in California in Carmel, or maybe it was when we lived in San Jose. Anyways, neither here nor there.
You always lived in nice places.
It was nice. Carmel was nice. San Jose is really nice. There. So it's saying, oh, and it was the beginning
Carmel.
of summer, and everyone had pools in their yard, and like we swam all summer long. Literally, our summer was we would wake up in the morning, we would have cereal, we would watch The Price is Right, we would go in the pool and swim. Right?
Price is Right. That's
Yes.
awesome.
And then my mom would be like, lunch, we'd get out, we'd eat lunch, we'd get back in the pool and swim. Like that is what we did.
So you were like a permanent prune.
Yeah. And pretty much. And that's just what we did all the time. And it was like the neighborhood would have like the summer block party or end of school year party, and it would be held at one of the neighbors' houses, and it would be a swim party, whatever. Well, no one had swam all winter-ish long, right? Into spring. And it's that time, and I jumped in the pool like, yeah, I know how to swim. And I sunk like a rock. I couldn't swim. It was the weirdest thing. But my dad jumped in with all his clothes on and pulled me out.
You forgot how to swim.
Yeah, it was so weird. It was like the cold jumping into the pool. I don't know if it just shocked me, and I just sunk right to the bottom. It was really bizarre. Bizarre. But clearly I survived that. Yes, that's a thing. Shock.
Yes. I've never heard of that, though.
I'm going to look it up because I do feel like that is a thing.
The shock?
Yeah.
Could be.
I need to stop lynching up my shoulders. I keep trying to relax my shoulders, but like, yeah, I'm going to keep going.
You need to use the neck rubber.
Oh, yeah, it's probably a good idea.
It'll be good times.
All right, so your worst memory. I have one more that I can talk about, but we'll wait on that one. You go.
Why?
Just you go.
When I was 12, we lived in Tennessee. We lived on a bunch of property, and we were on 55 acres, and I think that next to us was like the same amount, and then behind us was, I don't know how many acres, a lot, but we had two beagles, and they were my favorite dogs, and the one I had since I was 5. And
Chief, right?
Yep. And the kid who was probably only a year or two older than me shot both of my dogs because he said he was protecting his cows. And they weren't even on his property when he shot them. And they both had on bright collars, so it wasn't like, oh, random acts of dogs. And
beagles don't
and
look
they're
like
beagles,
any
so
sort
they're
of
not
wild
very
animal.
big, right? And yeah, it was a horrible, horrible, horrible deal. It's been the worst memory I've ever had. It'll probably be the worst memory that I've ever had in my whole life. And I hope that the person that did that, I hope that they have thought about it every day of their life since it's happened.
I'm sure karma's come back to them.
I'm not saying good, bad, or indifferent. Like, I'm not trying to say what type of memory they should have of it, but I hope that they have thought about it every single day of their life.
Yeah, that's really sad. I've heard the story before, and I've always thought, I mean, we both love animals and dogs.
I'm not going to get into the whole graphic action of all of the,
I wouldn't think so.
like what happened when we showed up and like what was going on and then the aftermath of everything. It was it'd be not coolly rated.
Yeah.
Some people might be like, damn it, now you should tell me. But not really. It's just
it's
awful.
a little much.
The whole awfulness of all the
gory.
awfulness is awful.
It's pretty gory. And how old were you?
12.
Yeah, see, that's a awful thing
I was
to have
11
to
or
experience
12. I want to
at that
say,
age.
I think I'd had my first skateboard competition or like a few of them. So I was either 11 or 12 or right in between, almost turning 12. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that my worst experience that I can remember as a child, and I feel like I was probably real close to that age too. Well, maybe I was a little younger. Anyways, when do you learn times tables in school? Like 4th grade, 3rd grade, 3rd or 4th grade?
Yeah.
I was about 3rd or 4th grade. And we were learning the threes timetables, and I went to public school, and we were, at that age, my sister and I were latchkey kids. So we would come home, and no one would be home. Both my parents worked, and I had failed my 3 times tables, and you would have to bring that test home and have your parents sign it to say,
we know our kid sucks.
Right, we know. Okay. But so we got home, I put it on we had like an island in our kitchen, or like a peninsula. And I went up to my room or did whatever I needed to do. I'm sure I had chores of sorts, but I don't remember that part. I remember I was in my room and I heard someone come home, and usually my mom would come home before my dad, but it was my dad, and he saw it on the peninsula, and he yelled for me to come downstairs. And so we had bar stools on the one side where we would have breakfast and whatever. And he told me to sit down, and he just proceeded to scream at me as to why I failed this. My dad was really good at math, so I think part of that was that made him very angry, that I just didn't get it. And for some reason, it just didn't click in my head. I just didn't get it at the time. But anyways, I had pigtails in my hair. I remember that. Like the side up pigtails like little girls do. And he just kept getting more angry and more angry because I couldn't answer why I failed that. I just had no reason. It wasn't that I hadn't studied, like it just, I don't know. I froze up, I guess, for the test or whatever the thing was. But he would get angry. He would just kept getting angrier and angrier, and so he grabbed me by the ponytail and started smashing my head against the counter of the peninsula. And my mom called at some time, and I don't know if she called to say she was on her way home or whatever. I have no idea. But we had a home phone back in the day.
And he was like, "Hello, I'm killing our child.
No, my sister answered.
Be home soon."
My sister answered the phone, and our kitchen, we had a dining room on the other side of the wall, so she kind of darted around the wall and told my mom, like, Dad's gonna kill Donna. You need to come home. And I don't know exactly, something to that effect, but I know my mom showed up, and they got in a huge ass fight, and she shut his hand in the door. Like, he tried to hold the door, and it, like, he had to have stitches because it cut
good for
his
him.
hand open. But anyway, long story short, it was a sucky day, and found out later it was because my dad was an alcoholic, and he kind of like binge drank. He wouldn't drink so much during the week and whatever, but if it was like a work party or Friday night, and who knows what day that could have been, a Friday, I have no idea, but he would go out and drink with his buddies, and he would drink to excess, and then so he would, and at whatever happened
Come
with
home
this,
and get really mad about math.
that's the first time I ever saw him mad. But he did end up quitting drinking, and it was a long road.
No, that's good. I have another similar math story. So I was homeschooled for most of my life, right? Like up until high school. And when I got to school, I was smarter than most of the people that were in school because public school sucks ass.
Right.
But we were down in Texas visiting my grandparents, Sam and Betty. And, they had their convenience store that they ran and like they owned. And, Sam was good at math and good with money.
Mm-hmm.
And
how old were you?
I was like 13.
Oh.
Ish. Maybe. No. I was 15. I was 15 years old. I had just actually started public school.
Oh, okay.
And then I was only in that school for 3 or 4 months. Then we moved to Texas. It was when we moved there. And my grandfather was talking to me, and he asked me a percentage of something. And he was talking about real money and like what was 25% of whatever. And I did not know the answer.
Right.
And he lost his shit, like, quite honestly, and told my mom, like, I don't know what you taught him, but he doesn't even know this. And like, this is the important stuff and whatever.
Oh, she must have felt awful.
I don't remember. I don't know. I will tell you this. I think that is the only reason that I am good with math the way that I am is because of that day.
Really?
Yep. I never, ever, ever screwed that up again.
Yeah, I never screwed up the threes timetables.
Like ever since then, I was like on a legit mission to be like the percentages of everything and like, I don't know, like geometry came really easy.
Like TJ
Now, when it
does
comes
math
to
in his head, like
I don't know, trigonometry or just anything that has to do with where you're going to throw in a bunch of letters to mix in with numbers.
algebra.
Like, nope, not even. Sorry.
But you do that. You just don't know you do it. Like squares and whatnot. You do
That's
that.
more geometry
He
than
doo-doos it.
whatever. It is fine, but I'm not a huge fan of. I'm a zero fan of Common Core math.
Oh.
Okay. Like,
that was
that
miserable
is-
with the kids.
that is a way to just make something that is
Simple, more
very, very
complicated.
complex, and I don't even know. Like, just give kids a reason to be frustrated. Like, that has no place in society.
It doesn't even make sense
It
to me.
doesn't to
I'm
me
like, what
either.
happened to regular division bracket? Like, you
Right?
don't even get that anymore.
Nope.
And they don't even know how to do that. You see so many things on like Facebook or whatever that'll be like, what's this times this? And everyone has a different answer. And they'll say and write out why you have that answer. Oh,
Because I have a middle finger. That is why.
but it's
that
like
is that answer.
literally why? It's just so crazy. How you can't have a different answer. It's just weird.
But can't you now?
Yeah, you can.
Isn't like I believe right now, if you believe it in your heart of hearts, 5 times 5 can be 23.
Yikes.
I'm just saying.
Only because it believes to be so.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not even 23. It's a symbol, but means 23. Wow.
Yep. Throwing out conspiracy theories.
Left and right. Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't have a lot of happy memories I can remember. It's kind of sad. I mean,
No, I have a very good mixture of memories.
yeah, you do.
Good, bad, indifferent.
I have a lot of indifferent memories, but I feel like most of the memories that I have is when I'm older and not necessarily some stuff I go, oh yeah, I remember that, and then I said, no, I don't really remember that, but I've seen it on reel to reel or in photographs.
I have a memory when we lived in California and I was about 9. I was 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
And I sat on a huge anthill hanging out with some of my friends and didn't realize it. And I was in jeans and there was a kid sitting next to me and he looked down and he freaked out and he scooted over like away from me and was like, oh my gosh, look at you. And I looked down and I was completely covered in ants from the waist down. And I started undoing my pants and running home and ripping my pants off and falling down and
Did they
being
bite
in my
you?
underwear. Oh yeah.
Ugh,
No, it was
yuck, gnarly. Oh yeah, I was hit by a car.
oh, that explains a lot. Oh my
That
gosh.
reminded me. I was like, wait. When we lived in California, my sister and she was riding the bike and I was on the handlebars. You know how you would do the sit on the handlebars thing? Or maybe I was doing the stand behind. Either which way. Someone came barreling down our 25-mile-an-hour residential street and we were crossing the street and they just hit us.
Oh, you both got hit.
I don't remember my sister getting hurt, but I did. I was.
How
Uh,
hurt? Like hospital bound?
I would
Or like
think.
feelings?
I don't know.
And why are we not retired?
Wow. I don't know. And it was, I think they left. I think they drove away.
Oh, a hit and run.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
But I don't remember specifically other than what I've been told. Like, oh, this happened. Like, oh,
These
okay.
are not the drones you were
Right.
searching for.
Like, yeah, I'd have to ask my sister, like, what all happened with that? She probably would know more. She remembers stuff better than me. So, yeah.
Interesting.
But that's funny when you're talking about the ants. I'm like, oh, I remember getting hit by a car.
I got hit by a squirrel.
Bloop. That's funny. Yeah, good memories. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I remember going to the
Waking
movies
up.
with my dad a few times. That was fun.
Going where?
The movies.
Oh.
Like just random. Sometimes he'd
Oh,
be
that was
like,
one of
"Let's
my
go to the
better
movies."
memories. We went to the Dollar Theater, you know, because you get to go do that when all the movies have been out for like 2 months or whatever.
Yes, I miss the dollar theaters.
Back in the day. And
Or the drive-ins.
I remember going to see The Goonies.
Oh, fun.
And I also remember when we lived in Tennessee, before we lived on the big property and we still lived in town, my Uncle Gene came to visit us.
Mm-hmm.
And we went and saw RoboCop
RoboCop.
at the drive-in.
That's hilarious. I love the drive-ins. Like, we didn't do that very often, but they always had like the double feature. So the first movie would be like the family movie and whatever. But then when it was the later one, when your kids were asleep, it was like a horror movie or something crazy.
I had when we were in high school and they had the drive-in movie theater at 128th. We were there every weekend.
Yeah. They
I had a
used to have one in
Volkswagen
Utah.
Vanagon.
Ha! Would you all hide?
Oh,
'Cause
we
you
would
only got
sneak
charged for
at
2
least
people.
like 3 people in my van. We'd put in between the middle seat and the back seat, we'd just put a bunch of blankets
Yeah.
and hide people under the blankets, in which we would also use the blankets once we got there, right? But I don't know how we went there every single weekend, and we would legitimately sneak 2 to 3 people in and a bunch of beer.
Yeah. That's funny.
And
Yeah, somebody. Go ahead.
we'd pop open the back, pop open the side door, you know, hook the thing up to the radio, hang out, way underage, drinking beer, hanging out, watching movies, not being super crazy or anything, but just the fact that we were like out and drinking beer.
In
I can't believe
public.
there's no parents, nobody that was like tattling on us or trying to be like, what the hell do you kids
No
think you're doing?
social media.
Yep, right. None of us posted selfies because we didn't even
Right.
have cell phones. Those
Yeah.
things were fairly new and quite heavy.
Yeah.
Could have been used more for a weapon than anything else at that point in time.
Yeah. The
No,
drive-ins
it
were
was
awesome.
that was where it was at. That definitely had 2 turntables and a microphone.
Somebody missed out during the whole 2020 pandemic not bringing drive-ins back.
Oh, they killed it.
They should have brought drive-ins
No,
back for
dude,
that time.
COVID killed the drive-in.
I thought there was what drive-in?
Like the drive-in movie theaters. COVID killed that. Those have
But
all
that
been.
doesn't make
It's like
sense.
bowling alleys, like around where we lived, like
But
5
I
or
get
6
the
bowling alleys.
because you're all hi Gunner inside, like close contact, whatever. But like the drive-in, you're in your own car. Hi, the dog is up here kissing me. I missed you too. Yeah, I missed you.
What's up, sir? There's no rhyme or reason for all that. It was all bullshit.
Well, yeah, but
It's
I
fine.
still think that could have been that should have been something that was revived because those were great times. Was the drive-ins.
They were.
Revive the drive-in.
Revive the drive. In.
Yes.
You know. Only the things all of us old people will remember.
But the kids remember drive-ins because we took them. Or I took them.
Yeah, I know, but even like at the age that we are, like drive-ins were still like super pretty awesome back then.
Oh, for sure. Yes. Good memories too was roller skating. I really liked roller skating when I was
yes.
young.
I have to go back to Tennessee. Roller skating. I'm not even kidding. What was cool is my dad was in the Navy, which is why we lived in Tennessee at the time. And where we would go roller skating, it was a giant airplane hangar on the base.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
So
then
we just went to like Roller World or whatever.
what they would do, and there was some skating rinks that I went to other places, like one or two, but mostly it was there at the at that hangar. And then occasionally what they would do is they would have movie night there, and they'd put a huge screen in that thing.
Oh, that's cool.
And they'd put out fold out chairs and whatever. And I saw Return of the Jedi there also.
Yeah. That's awesome. You and I have been roller skating a few different times. We take the kids. The roller
but-
rink died from COVID too.
Actual roller skates, not the whole inline thing.
We did actual roller skates.
No, I
you
know
and
that.
I.
I'm
Oh,
just trying to talk smack to all the people that are into
yes.
inline skating.
Yeah, I'm not a
Like,
inline
come
skater.
on
The
now.
kids inline skated, didn't
I
they?
know,
I think
but
so.
If you
That's
just
funny.
pick one, either go roller skating or ice skate. Just don't go in the
Don't
middle.
do both.
No.
We used to go to their at Metro Center. They used to have an ice skating rink that was here in Phoenix. It was torn down a few years ago, but they used to have an ice skating rink in that mall, and you would go there and yeah, like a whole day, because the malls were always so cool as a teen.
Those are not cool anymore either.
No, I know, sad. But we'd meet at the mall, we'd go ice skating, we'd watch movies, we'd go shopping, like
You had a pampered life.
had to find a payphone to call your parents.
Oh, the horror.
All of our stuff. Do you have
We
any
have.
other goods or bads?
No.
Hmm.
We were just
Yeah.
on a tangent of
The
the
mall.
good, the bad, the ugly.
And the mall.
Yeah, in the mall.
The good, the bad, the ugly, and the mall. That's our title.
Yep. There you go.
Yes.
And now that you're no longer in search, I guess we're done. You're giving me this look like
I didn't understand what you
I
meant.
don't understand.
You were like, you should have been like, now it's full circle because now you have the title. I didn't get your analogy. I'm very slow at that. You know these things.
Doki doki.
All right.
And here we go. It's our first long podcast.
Bye,
We're out.
guys. And before you go, visit us on our social medias at Linktree/The Hills on Wheels, linktr.ee/The Hills on Wheels, no spaces.